Welcome to this meeting, and my name is Steve Gazelle. I am a co-organizer of the WordPress Meetup group alongside with my friend Linnea. And today we're going to be talking about WordPress as a CMS platform. And we're gonna have a brief discussion and brief explanation about the subthread of WordPress expressions that it's mostly of course it's used, and it's mostly confused between people. They do confuse the use of it. So I will jump right into it. So I will start with explaining what the CMS is. It's just like what Windows to a computer or Mac OS to computer is. It's just a graphical user interface. And the CMS is an acronym for Content Management System that makes interacting with your website user-friendly. So just to build an understanding, I would share with you a picture that will show the front page of the WordPress.com. So I'm sorry, and it will. Here you can see the front end result of what the organizers of WordPress.com did, and what it looks like in the background. You can use the function key F12, and you can see how it looks like in your browser. If you're using Chrome or Microsoft and you haven't done this before, you can see something like that. It might look a little bit scary for many people, but it's actually what the back end of the web page that we're actually showing in this presentation. It looks like that. So this is the process. This is what everything looks like as it is. It doesn't have to be this way to think about it as a web page, because this is what a content management system is for. It's to normalize and make it more user-friendly. And even you don't have to need to have any developing background, no programming background either. And that's why WordPress presents something like this. So this is my own website management dashboard. And it's, of course, this is what the main WordPress application looks like. But not everything you can see on the screen. The extra plugins on the left side of the screen, it's something that's related to the web server that I'm using to host my WordPress-based website. I'm using by now SiteGround.com, and it has a lot of features that you would not see if you're using the WordPress basic provided service. So if you were hosting your website directly on WordPress.org, and there is a lot of these features that you will not see, but still it's not the core of WordPress that you would not see. This is everything what WordPress has to offer, plus what your host provides you, the plugins that related to backup or extra security options, or of course anything that comes to the if you need to make your website commercial friendly, there is a lot of options related and specially modified to the host that you're using. So similar example to that, if any of you used an Android phone, you can see that the Android application, like the Android system, is the core of it, and each manufacturer modify it in a way to look more personal to the identity of their product. And it's a very similar case here in WordPress too. So which CMS to use? There is many CMS providers out there in the web. The ones that I'm a little bit familiar with is Joomla and Drupal. These two is what you can closely relate to, try to compare between the market share that WordPress has and what these others, plus many, do occupy. So WordPress, something like WordPress, does actually occupies 36% of the usage of the content management system online, compared to Drupal that it's used by 1.6 of the website on the World Wide Web, and Joomla that it's used on 2.4. There is a huge gap in the usage in the market, and what you can see here is the market share that each one of these three that I'm making an example of is using in the market. Of course, each one of them has their own unique features, but it's obvious for us that WordPress has the biggest one, and it's still being the leading content management system in the market. In the link below, you can check it out, the website. You will see the trending in the past 10 years of the usage and the market share of many different and almost every content management system available on the market. And you can see from month to month how the trend of WordPress since 2010 until today just trending up, while the others is either keeping their base or a little bit decreasing in both market share and usage. So why WordPress? And I will be digging specifically into WordPress and what it is as a content management system, because this is what it is. The presentation is about. And I will try to explain a little bit about WordPress and its background. WordPress started in 2003. It's the most popular CMS, as we saw previously in the market, powering over 36% of the World Wide Web. I'm not sure if it's going over, but I can confidently express that it might be over 36% soon of the market share. It's based on a PHP and uses MySQL database. So this is how it's based when it comes to its background processes and how it manages databases and its web content systems. WordPress is easy and intuitive to use, and it has a small learning curve. So you don't have to really invest a lot of time trying to learn what WordPress is and how it works. It's very intuitive, it's easy to get into, and I will be talking a little bit about that later in this presentation. Creating content with a single layout is simple, very simple on WordPress. Creating content with more layouts options is more difficult, but can be done with code or with a specialized plugin and themes that WordPress actually provides, free to use. Creating pages, posts, projects, custom post types, custom navigation menus, sidebars, and more. You can do all of this in WordPress. So a common confusion of terms that arise anytime we talk about WordPress, and I would like to make some clarity onto that. On the web, you will find two domains that using the name WordPress, WordPress.org and WordPress.com. And when talking to people or reading about WordPress, these two domains get these two domains and the name of WordPress are often used interchangeably and haphazardly. This is unfortunate but understandable. So I will try to bring some clarity to it now. WordPress is the application itself, a free open source web publishing application you can download and install or any server to publish content on the web. As I mentioned, you can use the WordPress service itself, or you might use it on an external host. An example of the current use of the term WordPress would be something like my new website is powered by WordPress. WordPress.org is the website that hosts the WordPress open source project. From the website, you can download WordPress, the application, find the official documentation for the application and WordPress handbooks, get support through the forums, and get involved with the development of WordPress. and its community through WordPress, through make.wordpress.org. An example of the current use of the term WordPress.org would be if you were having a problem with your new WordPress site, trying asking the question in the WordPress.org forums. And that gets us to WordPress.com, which is the site offering WordPress as a SaaS, or software as a service. WordPress.com offers a free and paid hosting plans with various levels of features. You can build your own site on WordPress.com without finding a host and installing WordPress manually, but your site will be restricted by the platform and its rules. So like me, I'm using SiteGrounds, and I'm restricted to the rules that this host provides for me. It doesn't have a lot of meaning on the practical part, but it still have this restriction that you need to follow up with what your host is providing updates, of course, into the WordPress itself and into the content management and the control panel you have on it. For example, getting your own domain name, installing and creating plugins, and creating your own theme is restricted and may only be available by paying a fee. WordPress.com is a walled garden, you can describe it this way, where you trade convenience with anatomy, which is in some cases the best option, and in other cases it's not. It all depends. An example of the current use of the term WordPress.com would be, I built my first blog on WordPress.com. Now I want to add functionality to it, so I'm moving to a self-hosted WordPress site. So I believe I've done a great job confusing about the different terms of WordPress, but feel free to ask about anything I mentioned. If you have anything to add up and give me feedback on, go ahead and do it later in the Q&A session. And so now I'll be explaining some of the benefits WordPress as a CMS platform has to offer. WordPress is a universal platform. It's easy to use, it gives you the multi-user capacity and gives you the opportunity to easily find your way around how to start building the front page of your website, how to add a post on it, how to conveniently try to use its own original plugins and the tools that Gutenberg and the blog editor can provide, for example. It's very easy to get into, and it doesn't have to be a learning session for you to get into it. You just have to try to use it, and it might be very easy to figure out for most of people. It's inexpensive to run and maintain. It doesn't have to be very specifically like, it's not advertisement based. You need to, if you need to keep your website free and everything you're doing is for free, you can do that easily without getting confused with features that you might had on the free versions that became made later. There is a very basic package that you can use for free, and it's totally updatable, and it's always available to use no matter what. I will talk a little bit about the design and the flexibility of it, part of it. WordPress will ensure that it maintains the same design consistency throughout your website, irrespective of the number of web pages or blog posts that you might add. This provides a wonderful harmony that will not only appeal to the users, but it will also make your site look more beautiful. Even if you are novice and running a website on if you're running a website yourself, managing content, publishing blog posts, uploading media. WordPress makes it every single aspect of running the website easy. Now I'm going to be talking about the security features. Building a website involves a lot of hard work, time, and money. As such, it provides solid security measures to ensure that your site is safe from all potential harm. WordPress constantly updates all its security tools, thereby protecting your website from unauthorized access. Plus, it provides what I would love to call airtight security. It might not be something everyone would share with me, but I can see the security options that WordPress provides is fairly good enough for what it has to be. Through the means of powerful WordPress security, it's plugins that you can get. It's what I can give examples of is Superior Security and the plugin straightforward named Antivirus. This is what is actively doing the malware scanning and keeping the spam links out, thus helping you monitor your site security at the click of a button. So, SEO benefits, and SEO is the acronym for Search Engine Optimization. WordPress is an SEO-friendly platform that provides you with dozens of tools that can help you optimize each post even more attractive to search engines. 3 things that Google, for instance, loves in a website: optimized content, easy navigation, and responsiveness. It's something that WordPress does provide the whole 3 different aspects of it. And there is the URL structure, of course, that I had actually to mention before. It's that it doesn't look very confusing. It makes it pretty straightforward for you to see in the search bar that your website does navigate very smoothly, related with its name to the contents that it's showing on the screen. So that's a big advantage, I would say. It's compatible with all browsers, so across all browsers gives the advantage of not missing out on traffic coming from other search engines than Google. So this is a huge advantage for you if you don't want to miss out what other search engines has an advantage of giving you visibility on the web. So this is something that WordPress does handle smoothly. And if you ask almost anyone in the website designing business about that particular thing, it's a key issue that WordPress does actually troubleshoot and keeps it off your thinking, that your website might not be compatible with the browser. It is a little bit of a huge bit. So I don't think it's happened to anyone. Maybe the previous versions had it, but I think I can see that they are constantly keeping up and trying as much as possible to keep it adaptive to any new features that any browser might present. So, bottom line, tons of features, benefits WordPress has to offer. I can sit down here and talk to you about it for days, and I might not be able to finish. But that doesn't exclude that, of course, it has some downsides. Some people didn't see WordPress as their alternative to use, but still, in the long run, WordPress is the CMS management system that gives you this all-around control. It doesn't occupies you with the restrictions of just using its platform, and it does keep up updating you, keeping you in the secure side of the web designing things, and they try always to make it as user friendly as possible, in a way that keeps developers to a certain level satisfied with the control level that they can have.